we go. What is up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Greenie podcast. I'm your host, Greenie, coming from the Southern Conference Studios. As you can tell, that it's been a while since I've done a podcast, and I said I was coming back. Well, again, adult life happens, and then all of a sudden, we get whaled with a pandemic, and it sucked. So, this week I have two guests with me. I've got Woody and I've got the Hooded Elf. For various reasons, we're just going to call him the Hooded Elf. What's going on, guys?
Not too much yourself.
Living the dream, working every day except for the last 2 days, and I'm happy about that. It's been a while since I had 2 days off in a row.
Well, that's always nice. I've had like a month and a half off in a row.
Yeah. With your guys' restrictions being in the state that you guys are, it's kind of like Florida said. Basically, we're only going to lock down all the old people and everybody else in the southern half of the state, and not worry about the Panhandle. Where you guys are in
You look at
Pennsylvania.
Queen, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Pennsylvania just said, all right, martial law, basically.
Not as bad as California, though. Seeing like those videos of people getting like taken down on the beach.
Oh yeah, I saw one of those this morning, and I was just like, "What is going on?" Like, that's like I wouldn't ever want to live in California just because of how dumb they are with their laws, and it just seems like too many people live there anyway.
Oh, California ain't all that great. I was there once. I wouldn't go back.
Yeah, you were in what, San Francisco?
San Francisco, Oakland area.
Yeah, I was in San Diego, and it was nice, but it wasn't worth moving there.
Yeah, it's a weird kind of it's a weird country or state. It's
It
like
could
it's
be
it could be interpreted as its own country.
Man, what you eating, Greg? Oops.
Cookies, breakfast of champions.
Breakfast. You don't drink coffee to wake up?
I do when I go to work.
Oh,
I don't have to work today, so no coffee.
oh yeah. How do you do you just no coffee whatsoever throughout the day?
Yeah, most of the time, like I go with like a big travel mug from home, and then get more coffee at the station as I go throughout the day.
Right on.
Try to limit myself on energy drinks because
You always
it
get away
just scream
with
really hard too much.
What'd you say, Woody?
coffee and cigarettes. It's the only way to wake up.
Yeah, until you hack a lung or something, you know.
And as long as you ain't running a fever, you're all right.
Yeah, which I got to take. That's another thing with this whole pandemic thing is like, I get to work and I clock in, and the first thing I got to do is take my temperature to make sure it's not high or anything like that. And if it's high, I got to sit down for 10 minutes and take it again in 10 minutes. And then if it's still high, they're just gonna send me home.
Yeah. Do a couple laps around the block and, just go home for a day.
Well, my original plan, if I ever really wanted to do something like that, was we have the hot hands we stick in the registers at work so that like the air conditioning will constantly run because we're a California-based corporate company, which I'm not going to give the name to, but Greg left, or Hooded Elf left.
That's all right. I already slipped it once too.
Yeah, right. So, he's back. Awesome.
He's back. I think he was taking care of somebody.
But yeah, so they control the heating and air conditioning, so they throw hot hands in the registers and keep the AC running all day.
How was that, bud?
I can't even see myself anymore.
So you guys are back to a normal shift there, Greenie?
No, we're still doing. We're still doing like now. As soon as I go back tomorrow, and we're doing 1 to 9. And then the only time we're doing midnights is if we have a truck, and that's it. And we only get a truck once a week, and we haven't had a truck in 3 weeks, and we just got a truck the other day, and it was maybe like 500 pieces, 700 pieces, 700 pieces, and it was enough to fill the sales floor and a little bit of the stock room, and that was about it. Not major items that sell like I really can't name anything because everybody will figure out what where I work, and I don't want that to happen. And the hooded elf is back.
Yeah, sorry. Had to help get the baby all set up.
There we go.
Well, how's that young one doing?
He's doing good. He's going to be a thumb sucker. That's the only downfall.
Yeah, so, alright, guys, we're going to talk about this pandemic and numbers. And I have numbers pulled up on my Chromebook here, and we'll talk to Hooded Elf about his personal experiences of dealing with this, being in the job that he is without describing the job he's in. And then also with Woody being laid off as part of this, because Woody is also was an essential employee at first, and then they basically shut him down. So as of right now, we have 32,138 cases in Florida with 1,088 deaths. But in the United States, we have 1.4 million, 118,000 recovered, and 59,692 deaths. Do you guys really think this is something? Is this fact, or is this like a conspiracy theorist wet dream on how they're gonna shut the government down and everything like that?
Is it really just a dream though? Because they have shut everything down except for the government. I mean, what'd you say the numbers were? There's over 200,000 people that have been or are infected, and what was the number on the recovered?
Recovered 118,000. 118K.
So close to half of those people have recovered, and how many people have died? Quite a few.
59,692.
So the recovery rate, I mean, it's about half of the death rate. It's the numbers just don't add up to me. I mean, what the fuck do I know though? You know, the numbers to me aren't terrible. I don't think there's any reason that we should be locked in our houses and not allowed to go to work. It's a bit ridiculous.
Right, and worldwide there's 3.14 million, and then 957K that have recovered, and then 219K deaths. So yeah, you're right. The numbers don't add up.
Well, like what you posted earlier, Woody, like those are doctors that know what they're doing. They're even calling like something going on that isn't right.
And they pulled that video off of YouTube. You can't even watch that video.
Well, YouTube and Facebook have been censoring everything.
Yeah, so they're shutting down First Amendment on freedom of speech. Is like
they're a private company, so they're more allowed to do that. Sorry.
But as a platform for people's voices to be heard, you shouldn't be able to just shut them down.
Yeah, but when you're a privately traded
Yeah.
company like that, you can do whatever you want.
But yeah, like, and what now? Who picked up that video now that it's got censored? Because like the video that you posted, Woody, wasn't like the full length one. It was
No, that
somebody
was
like,
more a newscast than it was the actual video.
yeah,
Because somebody
yeah,
sent
and like people are, yeah,
somebody
and
sent
whoever picked that
a video
video
on
up,
YouTube. You can't even pull it up.
yeah, and like the people that like cut the video up, like everybody has their second guesses about them too, so that doesn't really help them doctors too much.
Bearded elf,
'Cause, like, some
throw
of the
some
groups I'm-
oil. Bearded elf, hooded elf, throw some oil
Yeah.
on those tires.
Little WD
If she
40.
just listened, if she just listened to me, it'd be a lot easier. But it's a 3.5-year-old trying to drive a little Power Wheel side by side. So yeah, but like some of the groups I belong to, they're just throwing that the whole company that reposted the video since it got taken down, like they're not credible and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but you guys aren't listening to the message of. It's like they know something's up.
Yeah, they definitely know there's something up. Now, I've seen reports that there may be a second wave of this, or we may be seeing future things of this, and we shouldn't open the economy, and we shouldn't do this. And I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Just lock everybody down? And how are people supposed to live with rent and everything else?
It seems to me like they're trying to collapse the economy, and to me it seems like a big conspiracy to get globalization.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
I mean, that video that we got sent last night about the food supply, and they're sending beef over from, where was that, like some weirdo Africa country that was like Libya or some shit like that.
Honda.
If you want to stop food from coming in from other countries, you need to start shopping local. Go to the local meat, get some butcher shops, and get your meat from a local chain. We're gonna get food coming from your local farm. That's me.
Sorry, Woody, you got blocked from a train horn.
Oh, that's mine. Hold on.
Sorry, guys, about the technical difficulties. This is how it's gonna be. We're in a situation to where, like, you know, everybody's got kids home and everybody's got different sounds. And Greg's doing what he can, and Woody's doing with what he can. So, I mean, just try to be patient and listen through it.
It's almost gone. So. I wish there was a way to mute this without hanging up on you guys again. Do that?
Yeah, you can.
But
All right, I gotta turn that down. Turn it.
yeah, but like some guys that I work with, dairy farmers that are like literally in the process of losing their farm because of this.
Now, is this? I read somewhere that this can affect animals and it can go from human to animal. Now, is that the same thing as a farm too? Also, could it go from a cow to a human to a pig? Because the way I heard it, and the way it went in China was it went from a bat to a pig to a human.
But I went back to a human, like they were eating the bats, and that's how they got it.
There's so many conflicting stories right now. I don't even know what to believe.
You would actually believe it? I think it came out of crap. I don't think it had anything to do with the wet market.
You think it came from one of the
Yeah, but those
biolabs?
places are pretty well.
Yeah, from one of the biolabs. You gotta look at how close those biolabs were to that wet market.
Like
In the wet
Resident Evil kind of situation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like some sci-fi.
You know, that's a sad thing too, is they close all these small businesses and the only ones that are open are these major corporations, and it's like, what the fuck? If we're gonna do the 6 feet apart and all that other shit and limiting how many people are in your store, then why are all these other small businesses non-essential? Like my vape shop, I can go in there, but they had to put plexiglass up and only allow 2 people in, and you can't go in the same door you came out. You have to go out the back door now, which is, I'm cool with that. But like where I work, we're only allowed 25 people in the store, and it's fucking Florida. Who wants to stand outside in a line in the heat? I mean, they do it for Walmart, but they're, you know what I mean? It's just stupid.
Yeah.
Like
Walmart herds people like cattle now. I was there the other day to get contacts, and I won't go back.
Yeah, it's like 50 people.
I won't go back to Walmart.
50 people in, and like they're herding you around with arrows and all, shop this way and everything else. And I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not coming back in here until all this is done.
Out them arrows today on Facebook. The little arrows, they're speed boosts. So when you hit the arrow, you gotta go faster, and then you grab a can of soup and throw it back behind you like the turtle shell to knock the person behind you back off you.
Oh, so like Mario Kart, yeah.
Like Mario Kart, yeah. I laughed my ass.
I had somebody try to yell at me because I didn't see the arrows. I'm like, I'm sorry. I look up when I walk. I don't stare at the ground. Like, don't know what to tell you.
And getting back to your store, Greenie, you're only allowed 50 people in there. All right.
25.
25. I got Dollar General right down around the corner from me, and then I got a Sanders Market. The size of...
Wait, the gun shop?
No, not the gun shop. They closed that, dude.
What?
Completely closed down. Gone.
No, that was my favorite store in Jefferson.
Oh, yeah, you're telling me, brother. Dude, I love that place. They got rid of the gun shop before I even moved back here. They got rid of the gun shop, and most of the mounts were gone. But anyways, back to the store thing. Sanders Market and Dollar General. Dollar General, they're allowed to have 61 people in there. And it's a smaller store than Sanders. Sanders is a pretty big store. You're allowed 50. I don't know if it's because of the food in there or what, but it's a bigger store. How come they can't have a few more people in there?
Yeah, it's all CDC guidelines, and I think the CDC is full of shit half the time.
CDC and the WHO.
Yeah.
Not the WHO band.
Yeah.
The World
Who's
Health
probably
Organ-
worse.
Yeah. I mean, shit, if the Rolling Stones live through this, then fucking, I figure fucking we're all doomed. I mean, nothing's killed the Stones yet, but it's killing everything else.
Dude, Keith Richards will never die.
Or Betty White.
You can't put that many drugs into a human being and not kill him. Yeah, dude's never dying. He's gonna outlive us all. He's probably a fucking vampire or some shit, you know?
Same with Betty White.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, Eddie White died from the coronavirus. People will be driving across the ocean on their bass boats just to blow up China.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, that would be yeah, that would be some fucking shit there. Uh,
I
so
pay to see that.
oh yeah. So I know you, Hooded Elf. You're in a particular job we're not gonna say, but you deal with the public. And do you have any experiences that you've dealt with more than anything since this is hit?
So everybody's 50-50. It's either they follow wearing a mask and 6 feet like religiously, and then there's the people that are like Malibu Barbie doesn't. You don't know what's going on, have no idea. Like people that you don't want close to you anyways, and they still get close to you. It's like, come on, like back up. Let's not do this. Like, yeah, just stupid shit like that. I was filling one of the vehicles up one day, and they're like, I was minding my own business outside. Person's like, why aren't you wearing a mask? I'm like, because I didn't go inside the store, and I didn't expect to talk to you that came up to me. So yeah, it's give and take. Like,
Before this
it
even
is what it
started,
is.
respect social distance in the first place. If I don't know you, I don't want you next to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't want people close to me in the first place.
Yeah, being that I'm in retail, the worst part about this is like I'm trying to do social distancing, but being that I'm in a state where it's predominantly older people and they want to like touch you on the arm and pull you close and be like, "Hey," but and it's terrifying, but at the same time, I have to be like, "Ma'am, sir, I gotta back up a little bit." You know what I mean? Like I've had customers ask me if I was scared or why I wasn't wearing a mask or anything like that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just trying to get through the day and do my job. I've seen some stupid shit. I seen a guy come in on a rascal with a piece of fishing line and toilet paper on his face as a mask. How that's gonna save you, I don't know.
Well, it's called being MacGyver. Can't really harass being a badass.
If you ain't got access to a mask, you're gonna do what you got to do if you have to wear a mask. I mean, what do they expect? I've seen people stores go in stores and they can't even buy a mask. To go buy a mask, I'm supposed to have a mask. You can't go buy a mask anywhere. So that's why you go to the store to get a mask, and you're gonna come in without one to get one.
Yeah, we've had pissed off customers because our store has donated all of our PPE stuff, like our face masks, face shields, gloves, all to local hospitals. And we had a couple come in and be like, "That's bullshit. You guys are probably hoarding them in the back." I'm like, "No, sir, we're not hoarding them in the back. Definitely not."
Greenie, are you guys mandated to wear masks there, or is it a on your own choosing on whether you want to wear one or not?
It's on your own if you want to wear them. We have them. We have them in the cash office, and the only thing we wear is gloves. Like if we're on register, we have to wear gloves, and that's a mandatory because you're dealing with money.
That makes sense. Yeah,
What's that?
if you're handling money, that makes sense to wear a pair of gloves because you don't know where the money's been.
Yeah, especially when.
In a strip.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, within the radius of our store, we have probably about 3 strip clubs. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you got 2 military bases there too. So
yeah, we have what
It's
the
not the
hell is it?
only about
Oh,
here.
Tyndall, yeah, Tyndall Air Force Base, and then the Navy installment, which I still don't know the name of.
ah, shit. I knew it one time because I had to memorize it. It's the Navy Diving Salvage Center,
Yeah, yeah,
training center. They have a pretty badass pool in there.
yeah. I've heard stories about the pool.
Yeah, I got the shit beat out of me in it. So,
Anything like the Gerard High School pool?
No, it's a
oh
little
no,
bit bigger.
No,
Probably
I mean
about
with
it's like 40 feet
the
deep.
day with all the teachers getting in there skinny dipping.
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
probably they probably could do it. Like, it's not like on base. Once you get on base, it's not like what I remember. It wasn't too. The pool itself wasn't like off limits. It's just probably frowned upon to go in.
Yeah, they had a incident last summer or 2 summers ago when I was still driving for Uber, and they had a bear on base, and they found it in a tree, a big black bear, and they just let it sit there all day, and all they did was put up signs that says caution, bear in area, and I was just like, all right. I was like, this is how Florida rolls. But on Tyndall, when I was on Tyndall, they took me. A couple of the guys took me right over to where the bears come out, and they said they sit there at night and just drink and watch the bears go through the dumpsters. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, that's entertainment.
You then, because they're eating anyways. You should be all right as long as they ain't hungry. You should be fairly safe.
Yeah, the big thing down here is the wildlife. Like, everything will kill you.
Yeah. Did you know there's scorpions down there?
Oh yeah, there's scorpions, fire ants,
Oh yeah. Like,
geckos that'll eat, that have they're poisonous if you touch them. Frogs,
well, they didn't tell us about that.
caterpillars, big white caterpillars with black eyebrows that fucking they sting you. You better go to the hospital because you'll end up losing a finger or whatever it touches.
That's when I lived out in Vegas. One of my buddies out there. As soon as we got there, he's like, dude, if you feel something crawling on you, smack it and ask questions later.
Yeah, that would be that's Vegas. That's nuts. So do you guys like, have you guys been watching any of Alex Jones or anything like?
Is he even on anymore? I thought they banned him.
No, they didn't ban him from They banned him from YouTube, but he still has his channel on his website and other places you can watch. And like, I don't follow him as much as I used to, but there's a couple people on there, a couple reporters he has that have been doing some really good investigating, and like this whole chip thing with Bill Gates kind of is intriguing. And do you guys think that if they are trying to do the one world thing, do you think they're going to try and chip everybody?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that's when you'll see pockets of resistance starting to rise up amongst us.
I think it already kind of is with all these people that want to sue, like Florida for unemployment benefits, or people that want to march on Harrisburg, Pittsburgh, Philly for closing the state. I think people in general are tired of this, but they're all going about it in the wrong way and doing it for the wrong thing. If you want to unite everybody as a whole, not just different causes.
That's the thing, though, is they got us so separated already, and it started back when me and you lived together in the old trailer down the road here. I mean, it all started back then. They started separating us 10 years ago. You got the left and the right now, and now they're starting to divide the right from itself, even.
Sorry.
They got so divided against each other that we're all fighting amongst ourselves to even take the time to even think about pulling together to fight our common enemy.
And our common enemy shouldn't be each other. It should be the government. Our Constitution was written for a reason. We should be following it, and we're not following it. Over time, the last 10 years, we've been slowly picking at it, and they've been slowly, maniacally pulling apart at our rights, and we haven't seen it. I mean, with censorship on Facebook, YouTube, you can't use if you use COVID-19 on fucking YouTube, you're done. They're not even gonna try to promote your video or anything like that. They're just gonna tell you that you're in violation of community standards.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anything that goes against the narrative now is gonna get pulled down. They don't want it on there.
Yeah, well, anything that goes against CDC and the WHO, you don't want on there.
Right. Do you think that we're going to see, as this goes on and they slowly open things up, do you think we're going to see an increase of cases? And do you think we're going to see a slow picking again of more rights?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely gonna. They're gonna pick them away. I mean, look at the freedom of religion. Yeah, the governor in New Jersey arresting people for gathering on Easter Sunday.
Yeah, but that's a mass gathering there, and they were told no more than 10 people, and they had more than 10 people.
But still, that is a constitutional right that
Okay,
no matter what cannot be taken away from you. And these governors are taking these rights away from us that can't be taken away, no matter what. They can't be taken away in a time of crisis.
but when the president says that the states should govern themselves, does the Constitution
The
still take
Constitution,
effect? Because
the
then you're going off
Constitution
the
is
state constitution.
the Constitution is the Constitution. You can't just take that away from people. Our rights are our rights. We were born with them. You can't just strip somebody of their rights because you feel it necessary for the safety of everybody else. And I'll probably get slammed for that, but it is what it is. If you're not going to stand up for the Constitution, what the fuck is it there for?
Well, the state's constitution isn't supposed to be more restrictive than the federal constitution. If I remember that right. Like they can't say like, oh, like if the federal government says you have the right to bear arms, they can't say like, no, you don't. So
I mean, that's what the Supreme Court's there for, because it'll go. If you went in with a suit case, if it fails on the state level, then it goes to the federal level. You know what I'm saying? You can't. If I lose in the state, I can still take it to the Supreme Court as long as the Supreme Court will hear it and think it's a justifiable reason to have it in their court. And I mean, you taking away somebody's freedom of religion.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Is that separate though from separation of church and state and government? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like if you take that, if you keep that, does that inflict on government? That's basically saying the government's coming in and going to conduct their own type of church, and that's what the Constitution is saying is they need to stay out of that.
Then at that point, Greenie, is if it's a separation of state and church, he really can't step in and say anything about the religious gathering, because that should be a separation of state and church at that level. If you think about it, he can't come in and say anything because it's separation of state and church. Does that mean the church is its own entity that can't be touched by anything?
I think the Catholic Church pretty much showed that.
Yeah, I mean they're on their own level there.
What went on there that has more to do with religion.
No. Here's the thing: is okay.
Level.
Okay, we usually don't talk religion, politics on any podcast, but I'm gonna go here with the Catholic Church and being that what the Vatican did with what they did with everything that went on. It's because the Vatican holds secrets to. The Vatican has this huge gate around it, so nobody can get in without them knowing. It's because it holds the secrets of time, and in the true interpretation of what life is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be 7, 8, 9, 10 different types of religion. It's supposed to be all one thing, but they've split it off over the years and interpreted it in their own way. If they went and actually found this stuff, they would be... the world wouldn't be the way it is because the elite wouldn't be in control anymore. Unless they are part of the elite.
The Vatican, you don't think the Vatican's not part of the elite? They've been part of the elite since the beginning of religion, since the beginning of the Catholic Church. I mean, you got it. All of those countries back then relied on them for guidance. And I mean, who shut down the Templar Knights? It was the Vatican. I forget which pope it was, but it was a pope that shut down the Templar Knights.
Do you guys think? Okay, here's a question. Do you guys think, after all this is said and done, do you think that that this is what is going to define the fall of everything?
I mean, when this is over, we're going to live. It's going to be totally different when we walk back out the doors and everything's back to a somewhat normal state. It's going to be a different world out there.
I think people are going to be more aware of what's going on. They're not going to like ignore things that don't pertain to them. Like if you see somebody cough in public and they're like covering their mouth, people are probably going to start yelling at them, stuff like that. But then it's just going to turn into normalcy again. It might not be like on the 9/11 scale where like everybody was bonded together over one tragedy, but it's going to be like you're definitely going to see stuff change, but it's probably not going to stay like that for a while. But the government knows what they can do now to hurt us to where they want us, for sure.
As fellow conspiracy aficionados, the three of us have dipped down into those rabbit holes. So my final question is: do we see more people waking up after this, or do we see still the decline of people being, oh no, you're just a conspiracy nut?
I think that'll be a 50 answer right there. I think there will be more people that have opened their eyes to what is going on, and then there's still the people out there who are like, no, you need to listen to what they're telling you, because you already see it. You already see it.
I mean, I see people waking up and they're trying so hard to do it on. I see people waking up and so hard throwing things out there on Facebook to wake other people up, and they're asking the question, why is nobody listening? And I'll sometimes put right on their comment, and I'll just be like, look, man, I tried this years ago, and it just didn't work the way people will do it on their own time, but as of a whole, society is just fucking stupid, and they think everything's a conspiracy. And my main thing is question everything. You have to question everything. If you don't, that's the moment that you're gonna get shipped into a fucking shipping container and shipped off to some FEMA camp here in America.
I think this is like a giant test for sure, though. It's just to see what we would be willing to do, and you can see it like over the last like 5-6 years. Like everything that's happened is just a test to see what we were going to do.
I can agree with that.
Definitely didn't see people rise up and go to arms. You know, everybody laid down. The government got what they wanted out of us, and that was to see how much fear they could instill in us and see how much they could actually control us.
Yeah.
All right, so we are coming up on that mark, and we're gonna get out of here. We thank you for watching, listening, all that good stuff. So till next time, guys, thank you, and fuck y'all later.
Fuck you too, buddy.